Hello, how are you all doing today? My name is Choya. I'm with Aspire Counseling and Consulting Services, where we help individuals establish and build communication in their relationships. I'm so excited. I woke up again this morning with another thought that I want to share with you. And this one is a message for the codependents. A message for the codependents. Okay? You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. No. All right, I got some things for the codependent that I want to drop on you, a few nuggets. Okay, one of the biggest risks that we have as being codependent is that many times that we are trying to help people in areas where we are most vulnerable. We are trying to help people in areas that we're most vulnerable and where we have our greatest needs. And generally that is a conflict. If you're trying to help people in areas that you're vulnerable to, where you have your greatest need, let's just say that your need is time and attention. You need time and attention. If time and attention is your key to security, then what happens is the person that you're helping, if you're helping somebody, they end up holding the key to your security, but you're supposed to be helping them. Like that kind of doesn't work well. That's like being a drug addict and trying to sell drugs and smoking up the supply. You can't help someone where you have a need. Okay, or it's very difficult to help somebody in an area where you have a need. So one of the things I want to use a good but a bad example. If you look at the situation with Michael Jackson, when Michael Jackson was around, he had situations with kids. And again, we're focusing on that you're trying to help somebody. You're trying to help somebody in an area where you're most vulnerable and you have your greatest need. So let's just say that Mike's situation was he needed time and attention. Okay, he comes off and saying, because maybe he didn't get that somewhere. He needed time and attention. All right. So Mike, he says, Mike comes across and his things are a little messed up, but he says, you know what? Kids need to be in my bed. Okay, I remember watching the interview and he was like, kids need to be in my bed. It's a beautiful thing, Johnny. It's a beautiful thing. The kids, they need to be in your bed. It's what the world needs, is what he said. He said they need to heal. I understand them and I know what they need. Okay. And so some of y'all are tripping about that. And so a lot of us was like, Mike, stop helping kids. You don't need to be helping kids. You see what I'm saying? Find another place, find something else to do. But some of us are tripping about that. But we have also been allowing people who don't need to be in our beds. Okay, it may be a man, it may be a woman, and you have people who have told you, who have warned you that, this is not the right person for you. They don't care anything about you. They're using you, they're abusing you, but yet they end up in your bed. And what are you saying? What are you saying? You're saying some of the same things. We just gotta love people. We gotta understand them. We just connect. We have something going on that other people can't understand. Oh, maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll be different. Okay. And usually a lot of times these people that we pull into our lives are projects. They need a lot of work. I'm getting off the mic stuff, but I just try to bring a point, but they're projects and they need a lot of work. Right. And we bring them into our close circumference. We bring them into our space and we call ourselves supporting and helping them. But if you're needing time and attention from a man, that is not going to be a safe place to put your time and attention. If you're going to be needing time and attention from a woman, especially if you have some areas to where you haven't been thriving in relationships, but you make this your project, it's probably not going to be the best place. Some of us are doing it with our children and our families. We find ourselves trying to help them, trying to empathize with their situations. You know what I'm saying? When we need to kind of maybe be focused on other things or not as focused as much. We're getting used. We're getting, the financials that, being manipulated. And sometimes it's not even a kid. Sometimes it's the parent who is obsessing with the child. Whether you're in a marriage a marital situation or not, you have found that child, that to where you make them your central focus. And what the problem is that you're actually feeling in a need. So in Mike's situation, we understand that helping kids is not your ministry. It's your need. Did you hear that? From Mike, helping kids is not your ministry, it's your need. The kids aren't the need, but time and attention, acceptance is a need. Mike was socially awkward. He lacked some things to where what he wasn't getting, it wasn't filling up the void for him. And so he started looking to kids to do that. He started bringing kids in his bed to do that. Okay. So it was a bad thing. Okay. And maybe what you're doing is not, well, we can't level off sins, but it's not as bad as what Mike was doing, but we're still doing things that we shouldn't do. Your help, look at some of your pet projects. Okay. Question how much of your ministry work, in other words, who you're supporting, who you're giving money to, who you're dating. Okay. That's what I talk a lot about, relationships, and the relationships that you're in. Who, what is this really, are you really helping? Or are you also receiving and benefiting? And that's the subtle thing with codependence, is that many times it's hard for us as codependents to put on the table and to make it clear and to recognize that I'm really not helping. I'm really filling up a void or a need that I have of my own. What we have to do, we have to check that. Helping, and as I mentioned before, helping some man get on his feet, helping stray dogs and cats. That's not your ministry. Find out what your ministry is and focus and put it in the right place, right? The one thing is recognize basically where you are if you're in the wrong ministry. Recognize what that is. Number two is understand that this is not your ministry. This is not where you belong. You need to change it up. Think of come up with a better ministry that doesn't involve your need, at least until you get healing. And then number three, you need to change up your ministry. Okay, so this is a part I like. Changing up your ministry means focusing in on you. That's what it is. That's what it is. Changing your ministry means to focus in on you for the first time. Focus in on you. A lot of people are scared to death to focus in on themselves. Why? Because attention hasn't been given to themselves. Okay. So it makes it awkward for me to receive time and attention unless I'm calling myself to ministry. Okay. So focus in on you. And one of the things is focusing in on you. You have to understand and find out what your needs are. You got to evaluate that. What are your needs? What are the things that you like? What is your security level? Are you an insecure person? Because codependency and insecurity are hand in hand. I really don't know that I know a codependent person that doesn't have insecurities, right? So know what your security level is, and that's something that needs to be focused and worked on. What are the things that make you have fun outside of helping somebody? Outside of helping someone, what are some of the things that make you have fun? Do you even know? So many clients of mine have not a clue as to the things because they feel that fun is their ministry. Okay. But the reality is it's a compensation. It's not a bad thing that we do this. Okay. But it ends up being a compensation. Awareness, knowing, like G.I. Joe said, is half the battle. Okay. And so what are the things that make you have fun? And how well do you say no to things? Are you continuing to say yes on a continuum? Okay. So look, this is the thing. If you are having some problems with codependency and you're finding that you fall into the category of ministry and that you're ministering to the wrong people, maybe even finding some people in your bed in relationships that don't belong in your bed. Look, we're here not to judge you, but to help you process your way through these concerns. And I'm here to let you know that this is a very common issue. Usually you're either going to be a narcissist or you're going to be a codependent, but we want to level the playing field and put you somewhere in a healthy direction. And we've got counselors at Aspire Counseling and Consulting Services that can help you do that. Give us a call if you need some support, and we appreciate you tuning in.